Hello and welcome to today's video. This is relaxation episode 4. If you need to pause the video, come back to it whenever you're ready. I would recommend finding a quiet space to sit in and using a pair of headphones so that you can hear me better. Also, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If there's anything you'd like to see me try in one of my videos or any advice or things you want to recommend, leave it in the comments and I will check and I will try my best to try it out. Let's get into the video. Okay, when you're ready and sitting comfortably, let's begin. So, to start with, I want you to imagine that you're sitting in a garden on wooden decking it's like smooth. You can kind of slide across on it. It's very relaxing, calm, quiet, peaceful scenery. There's a pool. It's got very clear blue water. You can smell the chlorine. You can hear the ripples in the water as you dip your toes in the water. I want you to imagine that you can see lots of different kinds of plants and greenery and flowers. And I want you to imagine what they smell like and how smooth the texture of the wooden decking is. I want you to imagine the cold, refreshing sensation of splashing your feet in the water. I want you to imagine the different smells that are around you, the pollen, the different plants. Maybe you can smell the sweetness of the pollen or the cleanliness of the chlorine. And I want you to imagine just floating on the surface of the water for a moment. And I want you to imagine yourself feeling very light, almost like you're just kind of drifting, floating across the water. The weightless feeling of just laying in that water. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Really, really focus on this scenery. When you're ready to, I want you to imagine carefully climbing out of that pool, being careful you don't slip on the wood decking because it gets very, very slippery when it's got the moisture from the water on it. And I want you to imagine walking further into that garden, and it's going to lead into a forest with a waterfall. You can hear the ripples of the water as it trickles down the stream over the waterfall and kind of flows past you. And I want you to imagine just peacefully walking through the forest. Careful because the rocks are very, very moist and covered with moss, so they're going to be quite slippery. So you're going to have to be really slow, gentle, and very, very careful where you step. And I want you to imagine that you can hear birds just peacefully chirping in the trees. And what kind of birds you can see? Maybe there's a goldfinch or a blackbird or maybe a pigeon or a parrot. Just really focus on the peacefulness and the stillness of the forest. And just really take a second to feel the coldness of the ground and the fuzzy feeling of the moss, the smooth, rough, bumpy texture of the bark. Just really focus on what's around you as you imagine yourself walking through that forest. Now, eventually, in that forest, you're going to come across a bridge, and it's quite a wobbly bridge, but it's sturdy enough to stand on. And I want you to imagine yourself walking onto that bridge and leaving the forest. And I want you to imagine what it feels like to walk across that bridge. Is the texture of the bridge rough or smooth? Does the bridge kind of wobble and rock as you walk along it? Now, I want you to just keep walking along that bridge. Is there rope for you to hold on, or like a wooden banister or something that you can grab hold of? I want you to reach out and touch it and really feel that texture. The rough or smooth or bumpy or cold texture. And you're going to keep walking on this bridge. Now I want you to imagine that as you walk along this bridge, you can see water flowing underneath you, peacefully, slowly, calmly trickling over the little pebbles and stones that are in amongst that water. And I want you to really focus on how slow that water is moving, how peacefully it trickles over the pebbles and stones underneath it. And I want you to imagine that you can see little fish swimming in the water and the different colours that those fish might be. Does the water smell salty like the sea or fresh like a river? Or does it have a strange smell between the two? Is it warm? Is it cold? Just really focus on what you might be able to see around you. Now, the sky is clear and blue with a few fluffy clouds just peacefully floating past. The sun is warm and it's a very happy, safe place. And I want you to just take a moment to breathe peacefully. I want you to take a few very deep, very slow calm breaths. So we're going to breathe in to the count of 4, and we're going to breathe out to the count of 8. Ready? Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And one more time. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want you to keep breathing this way as you imagine yourself walking along this bridge. Really focus on your breathing, and I want you to just let your body relax, almost as if you can feel yourself going floppy and wobbly like jelly. Now, eventually, that bridge is going to come to an end. So, I want you to imagine that in the distance, you can see a beach. Loads of rocks, smooth rocks, bumpy rocks, sharp rocks. Some of those rocks may have sea creatures on. So I want you to imagine climbing off of this bridge onto this beach. And the sun's starting to set, the sky's lit up really beautifully. There's pinks that fade into orange and oranges that fade into a reddish yellow, and the sky fades from a blue and blends into a purple, and it's a very, very beautiful sunset. The most beautiful sunset that you can think of. I want you to imagine it right now. And I want you to imagine that you can hear the sea lapping over the shore, the waves splashing up onto the rocks, the pebbles and stones tumbling over each other in the water. And I want you to really focus on that scenery, the difference in colorations of the sky, the oranges and the yellows, the blues, the smell of the sea, the cold feeling of the water, the smooth texture of the rocks, the warmth of the sun hitting your face. Really want you to focus on this scene and really feel the safety of that scene, the calmness, the happiness of being on that beach, the sunset as the orange and reds and yellows and pinks blend and fade into each other, and the clouds all fluffy and light, seeming completely weightless, just drifting past you in the sky. The smell of the sea and the warmth that that sun's providing. And I want you to imagine the smoothest rock you can possibly think of. And imagine yourself just laying there on the rock, the warmth of the sun laying upon you. And I want you to focus on the textures that you can feel, the things that you can see, the things that you may be able to smell. Can you smell ice creams or fish and chips on the beach, or the salt in the sea, the seaweed, maybe there's some sand on the beach? If you can see sand, I want you to imagine just pressing your feet gently in the sand squidging in amongst your toes. You can feel the smoothness of the pebbles around you as you run your fingers over them. Maybe the pebbles feel cold, or maybe the pebbles feel warm. And when you're ready, I want you to slowly imagine yourself walking across that beach. And I want you to slowly bring your focus back to your breathing and slowly open your eyes. And just when you're ready to, bring yourself back to reality. Slowly wake yourself up. Or even if you're ready, close your eyes and fall asleep. And, well, thank you for coming with me on this journey, and hope you're feeling relaxed, and see you again soon. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. I hope you're feeling relaxed, and thank you for coming to relax with me. I shall see you next week. Until then, goodbye.